Simi lived in a small, quiet village in Ogun State. Her family was very poor. Her parents worked hard on their little farm, but they could not afford to send her to the university. Simi had only finished secondary school, and even though life was tough, she was known for being kind and hardworking. She was always ready to help people around the village. One of the people Simi helped often was Madam Tayo, an older widow who lived not too far from her home. Madam Tayo lost her husband many years ago when her son Dele was just 7. Raising a child alone wasn't easy, but Madam Tayo did everything she could. She sold vegetables and small goods in the market to pay for Dele's schooling. But life didn't go as planned. After Dele finished secondary school, Madam Tayo could not afford more education for him. Instead, she sent him to the city of Lagos to live with his uncle Benga. There, Dele learned to fix cars. Over time, he became very good at his work, and after completing his apprenticeship, he opened a small mechanic shop. Though the shop was small, Dele worked hard, and he was able to live comfortably and send money to his mother. Whenever Dele visited the village, Madam Tayo would always talk about Simi. Simi is such a blessing. Oh. She helps me fetch water, carry firewood, and even run errands. That girl, she has such a good heart. Dele only smiled. Mommy, you always talk about Simi. What's so special about her? Do you just say what's so special about her? She's different, oh. Those girls in the city are not like her. They have no respect, no manners. But Simi, she's from a good home. I think, you should marry her. Dele laughed and shook his head. Mommy, marry her, just like that. I don't even know her. Then get to know her. You both have something in common. She's kind and decent. And she's just like you. Secondary school education. Together, you can build something. Dele didn't say much that day, but the idea stayed in his mind. The next time he visited the village, Madam Tayo arranged for Simi to meet him. When Dele saw her, he noticed her simple beauty. She wore a clean but faded dress and carried herself with quiet confidence. Good afternoon, sir, Brother Dele. Simi greeted, bowing slightly, as was the respectful way in their culture. Good afternoon, Simi. How are you? Dele asked. I'm fine, sir. Thank you. They spoke briefly. Dele asked her about her life, her family, and her dreams. Simi told him that she wished she could continue her education someday, but she was content helping her parents for now. She's very humble, Dele thought to himself. She didn't talk too much, but the way she spoke showed she was intelligent. That evening, Madam Tayo brought up the topic again. So, what do you think of Simi? Well, she seemed nice, but marriage is a big decision, Mommy. Dele, I'm not forcing you. Just think, she's a good girl who will respect you and make a good wife. Think about it. After much thought and his mother's gentle persuasion, Dele decided to marry Simi. They had a simple traditional wedding in the village with close family and friends in attendance. There was no loud music, no expensive clothes, just two people coming together to start a life. Before they left for Lagos, Dele promised Simi something. Simi, my wife, I will help you go back to school. Together, we will make things better. Simi looked at him with gratitude in her eyes. Thank you, Dele. I promise I won't let you down. With that promise, they began their journey to Lagos, leaving the quiet village behind for a new life in the bustling city. Life in Lagos was different from the quiet village Simi had known. The streets were always busy and the sounds of cars and people filled the air. At first, Simi felt out of place, but Dele stood by her. True to his promise, he enrolled her in adult classes so she could continue her education. From the very first class, Simi stood out. She picked up lessons quickly and even helped some of her classmates who struggled. Her teachers praised her hard work and Dele was proud of her. Babe, you're really smart, Dele said one evening as they sat together after dinner. Thank you, Dele. I just want to make you proud. Dele worked tirelessly at his mechanic shop. His hands were rough from fixing cars all day, but he didn't mind. He wanted to give Simi the chance to achieve her dreams. Simi in turn made sure to care for her husband. Every morning before heading to her classes, she cooked for him and sometimes brought food to his shop during lunch breaks. Dele's customers and neighbors often noticed her kindness. "Ah, Oga Dele, you're a lucky man," one of them said as Simi handed Dele a plate of hot jollof rice one afternoon. Dele smiled and replied, "Yes, I am, thanks to my mother. She's a good wife." As Simi grew more confident in her studies, she decided to prepare for the university entrance examination. Dele supported her every step of the way. He noticed how late she stayed up at night studying, so he began waking up early to prepare breakfast for both of them. "You need your strength," he said one morning as he sat a steaming plate of yam and eggs on the table. Simi laughed. "Babe, you spoil me." "You're my wife. It's the least I can do," he replied with a grin. Simi's hard work paid off. When the exam results were released, she passed with distinction. She was admitted to the University of Lagos to study business administration. Dele was overjoyed. Together, they went to the campus to complete her registration. "Don't worry, my wife. You will do well," Dele said as they walked through the large university gate. "Hey, I'm so scared." "I hope so," Simi replied. But life on campus was not easy. Many of the students came from wealthy families and wore fashionable clothes. Simi's plain skirt and oversized shirt stood out, and some girls began to mock her. "Now wow, who wears clothes like that to school?" One girl whispered loudly, making sure Simi could hear. Simi felt hurt but kept quiet. One day, a girl named Felicia approached her with a smile. "Simi, you're so smart. I was thinking, can you please just help us with our assignments? My friend Ugoma, please as well. We will show you how to dress better in return." I know that, you hear us mocking you, but it's not intentional. You see, on this campus, you have to learn to dress, or other people will also mock you as well. Felicia and her friend Ugoma started giving Simi their old clothes, which were still in good condition. At first, Simi felt grateful. She thought they were being kind, but in reality, they were just using her. The girls began asking Simi personal questions about her life. "Is it true your husband is a mechanic?" Ugoma asked one day, laughing. Yes. Unsure why that was funny, Simi thought. So that's why you are studying business administration," Felicia said. "So he wants you to become his secretary after you graduate? Hey! Wonder shall never end." Their mocking words stung, and Simi began to feel ashamed of Dele. She didn't tell him about the teasing, but her behaviors began to change. She started demanding more money for things she didn't really need. "Dele, please, don't be angry, but I need extra money for school," she said one evening. Dele looked worried. "But I just gave you money last week." "I need more." Dele didn't want to upset her. He loved her deeply and was afraid she might leave him for someone else. So, even when he didn't have much, he gave her whatever she asked for. Unknown to Dele, Simi was starting to drift away from the humble, kind girl she once was. Her new friends were slowly pulling her into their world, and she was losing sight of the man who had given her everything. At the mechanic shop one afternoon, Dele's friend Kunle approached him during a break. Kunle was an older man with years of experience in life. He has seen many marriages crumble because of carelessness. "Dele, I haven't seen your wife in a while," Kunle said, wiping grease off his hands with a rag. "She used to bring you food. What happened?" "Oh, Mr. Kunle, my wife. She's busy with school, She's studying how to make something of herself. And, she's studying to become a business guru so that she can help me with my business as well. I love that woman, Kunle nodded slowly but looked concerned. "That's good, but my brother, be careful. These university girls, they can change a woman. You need to watch her closely so she doesn't fall into bad company. Dele waved it off. Mr. Kunle, not my Simi. She's not like that. She's a very good woman. Well, I pray so, but remember, even good women can be influenced if you are not careful. Dele didn't think much of the warning at first, but over time, he noticed Simi changing. She started dressing differently. Her simple skirts and blouses were replaced with tight jeans and colorful tops. When he asked her about it, she said, "It is Felicia and Ugoma. They gave them to me. They said I should look modern." Dele nodded, though he didn't feel comfortable. He didn't want to upset her, so he kept quiet. One evening, Simi asked for more money. Dele, I need money to buy some textbooks. They are very important for my course. It's for course 1012, business in the marketplace. Dele frowned. But didn't I give you money for books last week? Do you want to kill me? I know, but these are new ones. They just added them to the syllabus. Dele sighed and handed her the money. I hope this is the last one, Simi. Things are tight at the shop. Thank you, babe, she said, taking the money and avoiding his eyes. But the truth was, Simi wasn't using the money for books. She needed it to keep up with the lifestyle her new friends had introduced her to. She started coming home late, saying she had group assignment, but in reality, she was attending parties on campus. One weekend, Simi brought Felicia and Ugoma home. Dele was excited to meet her friends and wanted to make a good impression. When they arrived, Simi hesitated to introduce him. Girls, this is my husband. My name is Dele. Felicia and Ugoma exchanged a quick glance, but said nothing. Dele, eager to please, welcomed them warmly. Welcome, my sisters. Please make yourself comfortable. As they sat in the living room, Simi whispered to Dele, please go and prepare something for my friends. They are hungry. Dele nodded and went to the kitchen. He didn't mind cooking for his wife's friends. He thought it was the right thing to do. He even put on an apron to keep his clothes clean, like he saw on TV, not knowing how odd it looked. When he returned with plates of rice and chicken, Felicia chuckled. Simi, your husband is really hardworking. Yes, Ugoma added, smiling. But why is he dressed like a houseboy? Simi's face turned red. He just likes to help out, she said, laughing nervously. Dele noticed the way Simi avoided his eyes and how she seemed embarrassed by him. He served the food quietly and sat in the corner, listening to the girls talk about their plans for a party that night. After they left, Dele said gently, Simi, were you ashamed of me? No, it's not that. You don't understand how people think in this city. You just need to improve yourself, Dele. Dele's heart sank. But I heard them also talking about a party. Hope you are not planning to go there. Did I say I was going? Have you ever seen me go for a party before? Why are you accusing me of something I did not do? Why now? Okay, I just want you to be careful. I don't really like those girls around you, but since they are your friends, it's okay. I don't want any man to take you away from me. Over time, Simi began to put him down in small ways. If he mispronounced a word or made a mistake, she would laugh and correct him, even in front of others. Dele felt the growing distance between them, but he didn't know how to fix it. The once warm and loving home was beginning to feel cold. The day of Simi's graduation was supposed to be a happy one. Dele had taken the day off work to celebrate with her. He wore his best shirt and polished his shoe, even though they were old. He knew he was going to the campus and he had to make a good impression, especially for his wife. When they arrived at the university, Dele's heart swelled with pride. Simi, you've worked so hard. I'm happy for you, he said, smiling as he held a graduation gown for her. Simi barely looked at him. Well, thank you. But can you, wait in the car? You don't have to come inside. Dele was confused. Why? I want to see you graduate and take pictures with you. What's wrong with you? Simi hesitated and said, I'll come get you when it's time. Just wait in the car, please. Dele didn't argue. He wanted her to enjoy a special day. So he walked back to the car and sat there sweating in the heat. Later, Simi's friends gathered around her to take pictures. One of them asked, "Who is that man that came with you? Is he your father?" Simi laughed nervously. No, he's just my driver," she said. Dele heard her words as he stepped out of the car to stretch his legs. His heart sank. He quickly got back into the car and waited for her to finish. When they got home, Dele couldn't hold it in anymore. "Simi, why did you tell your friends I'm your driver?" Simi rolled her eyes. "Must we discuss this now? It's not a big deal." "It is to me. I've done everything to support you. I believed in you, and this is how you treat me?" Simi scoffed. "Dele, you are too sensitive. It's not that deep. It's not just pictures and just graduation. Graduation that I paid for? And you're ashamed of me now? Really?" From that day, her attitude changed. She stopped talking to Dele unless it was necessary. She got a job at a company in Lagos and started coming home late. Dele noticed she was always on her phone, laughing and chatting with someone. "Who are you always talking to, Simi?" Dele asked one evening. "Please, Oga, it's just work stuff." Dele didn't believe her, but he didn't press further. One day, while coming back from the market, Dele saw Simi stepping out of a sleek black car. A man in a suit was driving. Dele approached her. "Who was that?" Simi looked annoyed. "Are you bossing me now? He's just my colleague. He gave me a ride. Must I explain everything to you?" Dele didn't say anything, but he felt uneasy. Another evening, Dele tried to share an idea he had for expanding his mechanic shop. "Simi, I was thinking of adding a small section for selling spare parts. What do you think? You know you're a business guru now." Simi didn't even look up from her phone. "Dele, to be honest, your business will never grow. You are just wasting your time. Besides, how many clients do you have?" "Oh, clients, do you even know what that word means?" "Of course you don't. You only cater to poor people who only repair their tires and make you fix their cars or fix the tires that are deflated. For how much again? 200 naira or 500 naira. And you want me to share business ideas with you? If you want me to do this, you will have to pay me. I don't just give my ideas to anybody. I share my ideas with men of caliber and timber." Her words stung. Dele couldn't believe how much she has changed. Soon, Simi started spending more time with a man named Adamu, a business partner at her firm. He was a widower, wealthy and charming. He began showering her with expensive gifts, including jewelry and designer bags. One evening, Simi was taking a shower when her phone began to ring. Her husband, Dele, picked up the phone and looked at it. He saw Adamu's name. As he went through the phone, he saw nude pictures of his wife sent on a WhatsApp message to Adamu. Oh, Dele was furious. As soon as Simi came out of the bathroom, "So you have started sending nude pictures to men, right? Please give me my phone. Why are you going through my phone? What nonsense is this? I am your husband and I have the right to go through your phone. I sent you to school. I did everything for you. Is this how you repay me, Simi? See. I don't have time for any of your rubbish this evening. If you know you don't want me in this house again, just let me go." "Oh, really? You want to leave?" "Oh my goodness. See, if you ever try this again, Dele, what will you do? Will you hit me? Oh, you want to hit me, right? Okay, I know what to do." Simi went into the room, packed up all her things. "I'm done, Dele. I cannot live like this. A whole me, a business administrator, coming to live with a pauper like you in this dirty house that has not been renovated for years." "Where are you going?" Dele asked, his voice trembling. "To someone who appreciates me," she said, slamming the door behind her. Dele stood there, staring at the closed door, his heart heavy with pain. He had given her everything, but it wasn't enough. Dele found out where Simi was living with Adamu. It was a big mansion with tall gates and security guards everywhere. Each time Dele came to talk to her, she would send a message to the guards. "Tell that idiot to leave," she said coldly. The guards would block Dele at the gate, pushing him back. "Oga, Madam does not want to see you," they would say. Dele tried many times, but each time he left with sorrow in his heart and tears in his eyes. One day, Dele decided to try again. He decided to wait for her at the favorite supermarket she loved to shop. When she tried to speak to Simi, Simi would not listen. She heard Adamu's voice from the car, asking Simi if everything was alright. She only answered, it's fine. It's just the security guard trying to disrupt me. Oga, leave me alone. What is it? Adamu came outside, trying to stop Dele from talking to Simi. Then they drove off. Dele stood and watched as the luxury car sped off. He made up his mind that he was no longer going to go after Simi anymore, since she has chosen the life and the path she wanted. A few months later, Simi married Adamu. The wedding was grand, filled with rich people and fine clothes. Pictures of the ceremony were all over social media. Simi smiled brightly in the photos, wearing expensive jewelry and a sparkling dress. It seemed like she had everything she ever wanted. Not long after, Simi became pregnant. Everyone congratulated her. Adamu spoiled her even more, buying her gifts and making sure she had everything she needed. She felt like the queen of the world. 9 months later, Simi went into labor. She was rushed to the hospital. Everything seemed normal at first, but when the baby was born, the doctors and nurses froze in shock. The child wasn't normal. It was half human, half goat. The nurses screamed and ran out of the ward. Some fainted. Others refused to go back inside. Simi was horrified. "Oh, what is this?" she cried, trying to cover the baby with a sheet. The news spread quickly. Pictures of the strange baby flooded social media. People whispered and pointed fingers. Is this punishment from God? Some asked, what did she do to deserve this? That same day, Adamu disappeared. His phone was switched off and no one could find him. A driver from the house came to take Simi and the baby home. When Simi arrived home, the maid handed her a letter. "This came for you, madam," the maid said softly. Simi opened the envelope with trembling hands. The letter was from Dele. It read, "Simi, I tried to warn you. Adamu was one of my customers at the mechanic shop. He told me about his life. He is cursed. His first wife, Zainab, cursed him before she died. She said any woman who marries him will share in his punishment. I didn't want this for you, but you didn't listen. Well, I pray you find peace." Simi's hand shook as she dropped the letter. She turned to the maid. Is this true? Was he married to a woman named Zainab?" The maid nodded sadly. "Yes, madam. Zainab was older than Adamu, but she loved him. He cheated on her with a younger woman and ran off with all their money. Before she died, she cursed him, saying he would never know peace and neither would any woman who married him. Madam, Zainab's father was a very powerful witch doctor." Tears filled Simi's eyes as the maid left the room. Simi couldn't take the shame, the whispers, or the guilt. That night, she locked herself in her room. The next morning, the maid found her lifeless body. Simi had ended her life, leaving a note that read, "I made too many mistakes. Forgive me." Dele, on the other hand, moved on. He worked hard, saved money, and went back to school to further his education. Over the years, his mechanic shop grew into a big business. Soon, it became a $1 million company. People admired him for his strength and success. Dele never gave up, they said. Dele's life became an example of how to rise above pain and heartbreak. His stories show that even when the worst happens, life still gets better with hard work and faith. If you enjoyed this story, please click on the next video popping on your screen and please do not forget to like and subscribe.